Good morning. Yeah, Calvin, we can just put on your video. We want to see you. Good morning. Anyone hearing me?
Good morning.
Good morning, Wajuma. Thank you. At least that's confirmation that everybody's hearing. So, Wajuma, do you want to pray for us? We can start.
Okay, let's pray. Almighty Jesus, I come before you this particular time, thanking you for the gift of life that you have given unto us. As we are going to start our lesson, may you open up our minds so that we may get to understand. And it is through Jesus Christ I've prayed, trusting and believing. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. This is a university Zoom. Sometimes when many people are using it, it may hang, so we may go back to Google Meet. But if that happens, I can't see some. Who can we task? Majuma, do you have my number? You can send me a WhatsApp message so we can change. If I hang up and I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, thank you. We are going to continue from where we left. It may sound like we have very few topics, but we have a lot of assignments in between the weeks. So I think we will continue from that. So in topic 3, what are we going to do? I need to move this thing. It's there. Anyway, these are the learning objectives. So we'll continue with the PICO questions that we did very excellently. We did that. Thank you, class. For those who didn't do the assignment, I think that boat has sailed. You need to do better in the next assignments. So I will select appropriate sources for finding evidence-based information. We have already talked about many databases in our past lectures. Maybe today we can go practically into a few of them just to see how we can work with them. You'll develop and conduct effective searches using your searchable question. That is the PICO. So if already you had your PICO, we will go and review them again. And then this time we will find out what is the independent variable and which is the dependent variable. If you remember, we did such a lecture. And then we will find what is the important word that we are going to look to search for and what can we add to that word. Once you do that, you need to manage the information you retrieve, because many times you get so much information, as you have seen even from Google Scholar. You get so much information. And for instance, if you're doing your project or your assignment, then you want to cite something that you read, and then you want to go back and look for it. It is so easy to not find it. I don't know if that is a good sentence, but from experience, you can actually look for that and you will not find it again. So the best way is to keep our search history table. That's what we call it. You make a table for yourself, put in every author or database where you found that author into that table. And this is very important even for when you're doing your project. so that when you want to do citations inside your assignment or your project, you can easily retrieve that information where you read it from. And even for evidence-based practice, once you want to now implement what you have read back into your clinic, somebody asks you, where did you find that? And then you go back and you can't find it. This is a real problem. So take your search history table very seriously, and we are going to do that so that next week we can present our search history tables. And then we'll reflect on the information seeking process and revise as required. Sorry, I'm not the one manipulating this Zoom, so things keep coming up and down. All right, so, and then we'll evaluate the information in the OT context. That means we'll critique it. So the very first, the last assignment we'll do in a few weeks to come is to now take one of the articles that you have read or which is in your search history table based on your original PICO, and you will critique it. And I will show us how we can go about critiquing. Because we remember, we also said that not all information is useful. It may look useful just from the topic, but when you read the abstract, then you find, no, this is not answering my question. So you need to put it aside. Further to that, if you decide it is answering your PICO question, you need to look, go into it and find, is it really valid? And we remember in one of the lectures, you'll go and look for the information which can show you if it is valid or not. Was the sample taken properly? Was the population assigned properly? Did they take a good number for the sample? Is it really representative, or is it a qualitative research? Has it left us so many gaps so that we have to go and find other information or do further research? So you'll have to critique every information that you get. Mm-hmm. Oh, Emmanuel, that's good morning. Thank you. Please be checking on the chats too. All right. I think we have hung. Maybe we can go with this. So what are the steps to searching for evidence? In this graphic, you can see it. The first step is to ask the question, a clinical question, and that is what we have been doing. The second step is to find the evidence, and then that evidence is what we are going to search for, and then you'll evaluate the evidence, that is through critiquing, and then when you decide this is the best evidence, you'll apply the information in combination with your own experience or your colleagues and patient values. What is it the patient was looking for? Remember, we are client-centered, so you have to discuss with your clients. If it is a new thing you've never done before, you say, I've read about this, I want to try it out. It may work because it has worked in other places. Don't give your patient out, don't say it may not work, because you shouldn't do that. So then maybe after 3 months, when you do a reevaluation, you will now check if the outcomes are good. If they are not, then you need to appraise yourself. So you'll formulate your clinical question as we have already done, find the evidence, appraise the results, adjust the terms. Now, when you're looking for evidence, you need to adjust terms or limits depending on what the database brings out. You have all tried, even in Google Scholar, just looking for autism. The number of articles can come in millions. So how do you limit what you're looking for? And we are going to see the Boolean words. This is just a reminder. If you can remember, we talked about PICO. It's not always that you have a comparison, but for the purposes of our academics, we need to phrase our questions in PICO form. Now, here is a question. Does play therapy assist in improving communication in children with autism? Who can try? What is the PICO question there? I know you already have the notes, but let me hear someone. Mwajuma, please moderate the class because I can't see who's present. I can see the number is 15. So tell me whose hand is up and the person can give us an answer. Who is in techno? It's techno. I can see your camera is on. Is it Alan? Or who is techno?
It's not me.
Is it? Okay, answer the question. If we start the question with in patients with, how will it go? So that we get the population, the intervention, the comparison, and the outcome. If we change that question, does play therapy assist in improving communication in children with autism? Anybody who can answer it?
Maybe I can.
Please go ahead. Who's speaking?
Okay, in patients with autism, does play therapy compared to other occupational therapy standard activities result in improved communication?
Good, excellent. Who's speaking? As I said, I can't see very well who's in the class. Okay. Who is that?
It's Alan.
Alan, thank you, Alan. So yes, here is a possible answer. In children, thank you very much. I think that was correct. In children with autism, does play therapy result in improved communication? So you told us in comparison with other occupational therapy interventions. So you can see this particular one, I didn't put any comparison, but that's still okay. Many times you will do that. Not now, now we are learning, but when you're in the field, you can actually do that. So I'm asking there, what are the other options of stating this question? And Alan has given us an option. Now, there are some templates, depending on what you're looking for. If it's general therapy, you can start the question with in dash, what is the effect of on this compared with that? If you're looking for diagnostic issues like standardized, what you've got, what is the outcome of a standardized test or standardized evaluation, you'll ask are or is dash more accurate in diagnosing dash compared with the other one. So you're comparing two tests. Etiology are dash who have dash at the risk of dash compared with. So if you feel in your own time, when you're doing your own revision, try to fill these dashes, then you'll see the differences. Many times you have a PICO question because of the therapy you're doing, or you have a PICO question because you're confused with where is this in the autism spectrum, where is this condition? Is it Asperger syndrome? Is it attention deficit disorder? What is it? Where can I place it? Or is it just a communication disorder? So you want to diagnose that. So you'll ask that kind of PICO question. If it is something where the etiology is unknown, then you also can ask a different PICO question so that you go and search for the information. Prognosis the same. Now, in the last class, we did a few of those questions so that we know exactly what we are going to look for. You can see this was Ndenya. She gave us a question: can diet management to children with autism promote prognosis coupled with sensory integration compared to sensory integration only? Okay, it's a bit twisted, but that was a question. So what we wanted to identify from there is what is the main construct. The main construct is something that when you go to the search engines, it is a word you cannot leave out because that is the one you're going to look for. It is also what we call independent variable. The other one is now prognosis. Those are the dependent. So when you go, you want autism to be the first. You can add children, you can add diet, and or sensory integration. So these are the things that will be limiting or expanding your search. Who can remember the difference between dependent and independent variables? Someone can just tell us what is the difference? What is the difference between the dependent and independent variable?
The independent variable is the one which is like an outcome, and then a dependent variable is the one which can be manipulated.
The dependent variable can be manipulated.
Yes.
And the independent is the outcome. Doesn't
Yes.
change.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is that Clara?
Yes, it's Clara.
Thank you, Clara. Okay, so are we all in agreement, class? For those who can remember and those who cannot remember, let's go with that. All right. So let's get somebody else's question now. Who's offering to give us their question? You know, if you volunteer, you learn better because now we are doing your assignment for you, actually. Clara, again, do you have your question? Class, this is an online class, so you are even free to go and look into your your cat and just get us a question. Nobody will know. So can you just give me a question? Yes. Clara?
Let's say it's the use of the hookup print in hand
The use
injuries.
of?
Use of splints in hand injuries. Use of splints in hand injuries improve the fine motor skills during recovery.
Fine motor skills during?
Is the use of splint in hand injuries improve the fine motor skills during recovery?
During recovery compared to, remember we are learning, we need everything. Help her, class. Clara, is it splint or splints?
Yeah, is the use of splint in like that.
Compared to?
Compared to other table activities.
Remember, your question needs to make sense. To other table activities. Okay.
I'm still thinking.
Okay. It's just coming off your head. Who can improve on it? is the use of splitting in hand
Hand
injury.
injuries improve the fine motor skills during recovery compared to other occupational therapy interventions.
Okay. Be thinking what is the, we want, where is the PICO?
Hand injuries is the P, the population. After splitting is the intervention.
Mhm.
Comparison is occupational therapy. Other occupational therapy intervention. Outcome is improved improved fine motor skills.
Mhm. Excellent. So now we are looking for the variables. Class, you can participate as well. Who can see the independent variable?
The independent variable is the improved fine motor skills.
Dependent.
Splinting.
Class, are we in agreement? I don't want to be having only Clara in the class.
Yeah.
Alan, are we okay?
I'm not quite sure about the independent and the dependent variable.
You're not sure about the dependent and independent variable. Did we do it in class? Do you remember us doing it in class? We had a lecture on which I plucked from research methods. Were you in class?
I think I wasn't in by that time.
You are not in. Please go and revise those notes because they are absolutely important. Very important, I might add. Okay, Alan? Yeah, because the upcoming assignment, you need to have this in your mind. It's not something I'm asking for, but it's something you have to, without it, you will not implement your search. Okay, Edgar is in class.
Yes, I'm in.
Yes. Are we on the right track?
Yeah, we are, but we have to get the real understanding of these variables, the independent one and the dependent one.
Okay. Class, am I confused? Did we have such a lecture? Frida? Frida, you're muted.
Yes.
He did. No, I need to confirm, people. Did we have this class?
No.
We didn't. Okay, let me look for it. I don't know. This is strange for me as well. Dealing with a very lazy class. Let me look for your board. Edgar, this is your course wall. Is it projecting? Can you see the course wall?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, let's click on this introduction to research design. Waiting, waiting, just give it time. Anybody else can go there, just check for us. I don't want to go into my notes because I want to confirm if it's there or not. Can someone look through those notes? It's happening a bit slowly. I'll just check into my notes. So, Clara, where did you get to know about this variable?
I just remember from the assignment we submitted on the model, there was a question of which we were supposed to indicate the dependent and the independent variable from the given statement. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Now, if it's not in your notes, it's not a difficult concept. So, Edgar, how did you answer your assignment if you didn't know what they are?
Of course, I used the internet, and I just needed to find the answers for that assignment, but in reality, I didn't even understand what I said in that.
What you are doing. So you went to ChatGPT and asked it. It's not a bad thing. I mean, AI is here with us. It's a real headache for lecturers. But so you just went and asked it in this question, what is the dependent and independent variable? All right.
I Googled.
You Googled. Okay, it's not a bad thing. Google is helping us as lecturers. Thank you. So class, we need to be very clear on what dependent and dependent variables are. In every statement, we have two variables. One is affecting the other. That's the simplest way of putting it. But I'll post those notes. We may not do it in class, but I'll post them after the lecture so you can read through them because you need them in your assignment. Okay, so let's go with that. Forget about the IVs and the DVs for now. We'll just fill them as Clara is giving us. So what I'm trying to say is that the main construct, which is also the dependent variable, must be there in your search, absolute search, when you go to search for information. So here, we will look for fine motor. And we will add probably no, hand injuries. Hand injuries. We will add splinting. We will add other occupational therapy interventions, may be a very wide concept. So let's say all OT. Don't worry if you're not completely here, but we will check on it just now at the end of the class. So if I'm going to search for information, these are the keywords. Remember, they're coming from my PICO question. I have fine motor. I'm very interested in what it does for hand injuries And then splinting is the main intervention, which I'm going to compare to other OT interventions. If I put this as in the search and I get information, maybe about 5 papers, that is excellent because already everything has been limited for me. But if I put this information and get 100,000 articles, I don't have time. You also don't have time. You are in college for a very short while and you're in this unit for one semester. You may not read 1,000 articles. So you need to come limiting yourself. You come back again and say, what is the absolute thing that I want from this search? Splinting and hand injuries. So you can go for splinting and hand injuries. Or if your issue was really fine motor, then you can do fine motor and hand and probably splinting. So you keep playing around with that. In addition to playing with that, we also will talk about these Boolean operators, this and or not or but. So let's proceed for now. That notwithstanding, we can have somebody else. Anybody else wants to offer their pick or question? I won't share these notes. I've already put the notes in the wall. Anybody? Wajuma, please choose for me someone to give us their pick or question.
Stephanie.
Stephanie Locorio. Is that correct? Stephanie. Okay. Stephanie, let's go. Hello, Stephanie. Stephanie, are you muted or you're looking for your notes? We are waiting for you. One of my daughters is also called Stephanie, so don't disappoint me. Oh, my daughter. Okay, Stephanie, you're ready? I can see you unmuted, but I can't hear you. Edgar, can you choose for us someone else? Not spoken.
Kelvin Murreithi.
Kelvin Murreithi. Thank you. Thank you. So, Stephanie, I've seen your message. Sorry about your audio. I hope you can hear me, though. You can keep chatting. Wajuma, you'll be checking on the chat. Okay, Kelvin.
Okay, let me give my question. It says,
Wait, is it Kevin or Kelvin?
Kelvin.
Like that?
Yeah, it's like that.
Great. All right. Your question.
Okay. Does participation in structured occupational therapy exercise program?
Hey, Kelvin, I'm not a typist, though. Does participation in?
Structured occupational therapy exercise program. Occupational therapy program help elderly individuals with Parkinson's. with Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease help. Okay, Parkinson's disease improve in motor function and ADLs. Compared to standard care without structured occupational therapy exercises. Compared to standard care without structured occupational therapy exercises.
Thank you. Does participation in structured occupational therapy exercise program assist elderly individuals with Parkinson's disease improve? I don't know, is that okay? To improve, do we want to change that? To improve in motor function and ADLs compared to standard care without OT exercises. Okay, thank you, Kelvin. So identify your PICOs.
Okay, the patient is they are the patients with the Parkinson's disease. Okay, the intervention. Okay, let me start with.
Am I right?
Elderly individuals with Parkinson's disease. Those are the patients, the population, I mean. Then participation in structured occupational therapy exercise is the intervention. Then we have the comparison, which is the standard care without standard care without OT exercise. Then the outcome is the improvement in motor function and ADLs. Improving.
Like that?
Yeah. Yes,
Thank
like
you.
that.
Class. Thank you, Calvin. Is the class happy?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. At least Clara is happy. All right. So we do want, Kelvin, if you were to go to look for information, which one is the absolute construct that you will not leave out? Clara, do you want to help? The IV?
I think someone can help me. I'm having challenges with the identifying the. I'm confusing somehow.
Okay, sorry about that.
The IV would be improve in motor function and ADLs.
See if we can have that lecture next week. I don't know. Let me check on how activities are going. Okay, thank you, Clara, and the dependent.
The DV will be participation in structured occupational therapy.
Thank you. Okay, so what are we going to search for? Sorry. Kevin, if you go to search, what would you first want to know that will make sense
Okay.
to your search?
We have a Parkinson's disease. Yeah, then we have the structured occupational therapy exercise program. And then the improving motor function and ADLs.
Okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, because the
Yeah,
comparison
that's
will
what
come
I
out.
would search.
Yeah, great. Great. Good job. So class, I think we have done 2 examples. Anybody still lost on how you're going to look for your search? We are doing well so far. If you're lost, please don't be shy to just ask. And thank you for those who have volunteered their questions. Kevin, that came from your head, I think. You don't have your assignment nearby, but it's good. All right. Okay, Stephanie, you can hear. So we are going to try a bit later in the class. So remember last time we talked about the hierarchy of evidence. This is not the hierarchy of evidence. However, we need to think about when we go to look for evidence, when we go to the search engines, what are the type of articles that will give us more information? So in the hierarchy of evidence, we said the gold standard is RCTs or cohort studies. You can see that. Let's go to that. So you can see this is where if you look into a study, some studies will tell you right from the topic that this is a systematic review or this is an RCT. Those ones will tell you and you'll know, okay, this is where I want to look for my information. So we are being advised that you need to look into systematic reviews, critically appraised journals. Don't go into any Wikipedia or any article that was never raised or reviewed by any other peers or peer reviewed. You need to get information that has passed the test of validity through so many stages. So avoid expert opinions because opinions are many and you get a lot of that in editorials. Editorials are good. They'll, as remember we talked about push and pull as information that you can just push, it's okay. But when you want to pull information that will help you immediately, you need to go to these ones, the studies, which are RCTs, cohort studies, case controls, synthesis. Those are systematic reviews. Somebody has taken the time to look into, throw so many papers and then bring out one article that has already been done and it will be a good one. Synopsis, critical appraised journal articles, and so on and so forth. So what are some of the databases? I already talked about them in the past lessons, but we will look into them. I've highlighted a few which I want us to check as examples, but that doesn't mean others are not useful. Sometimes you will go even to the OTT seeker and find there's very limited information in what you're looking for as compared to others. So it is good to go into many databases. And here is the issue. Some databases will generate for you a search history table. But for what I want from you is to actually construct your own because you will get all the information from all the databases into one history table. For me or other later on, when you're doing your evidence-based practice or your own practice, nobody is looking into your assignments. You will just get so many history tables and you can just file them and they will help you with information. That means whenever you want to cite an information or when somebody asks you, where did you get that from? You can just go into the file where you put your history tables and say, oh, I got it from this article. So that you will do later on. But for what we are going to do in the future assignment is that you have to construct one table and then put all your things together in that table before you submit. So the POYA library, I try to check OPAC is open public access catalog, but it is only subscribed to libraries. And I think where library has subscribed to it. So if you cannot find enough databases on your own, you can go to the librarian who will give you credentials to enter the OPAC. However, many of these libraries like EBSCO host also, you can be given a free trial. So it just depends. If you can do your assignment within 7 days, you will find. And we do evidence-based practice. So many, you'll find that you can get so many papers in the last 5 years. But then when you come to your projects and assignments, you still want to give me 15 years, some even before you are born. So after doing this exercise, you are not allowed to do that. All the citations you give should be in the 2020s, 21, 22, 23, 24, 2020. Yeah, that's 5 years is good. So I've highlighted a few which we will check through, but that doesn't mean you don't go and try the other ones. Now, what are the words? I've already alluded to this. We've tried with two. Clara and Kelvin have given us good questions, and we've tried to use Boolean operators. So Boolean operators are and, or not. You can also use but. It just depends on how careful you are. They're used to combine. If we use or, it is used to combine similar terms, synonyms, to retrieve all possible alternatives for a concept or sub-concept. And usually do that if you find the information is not coming. If there are very limited papers coming out, then you give it alternatives and we'll see where you can use that. For instance, you can say autism spectrum disorder, pervasive developmental disorder, sensory integration disorder, Rett syndrome, child disintegrative disorder, Asperger's, all the ones in the autism spectrum. If you find that autism spectrum alone is not bringing you information, you can give it all these other alternatives. And so that can apply to many other conditions. When do we use and to combine separate concepts of searches together so that database retrieves articles with all the concepts, and it must contain all terms listed in the articles retrieved. So if I say autism and play and therapy, it will come, all the articles which have that will tell me. And the search engines give you options. Do you want those words in the title, or do you want them anywhere in the article, or where do you want them? So it's up to you how to limit or expand. Okay, not is used to exclude an unwanted or irrelevant term or concept that may not appear in a search result. Of course, these Boolean words are English words, but we are just trying to see how we can use them when we are doing our search in the databases. So the not operator must come at the end of a search string. You cannot start with not sensory integration, not autism. Please start with what you're looking for first, and then you will come to not at the end. So you can look for sensory integration and autism, but not visual. So you'll decide exactly how do you want to use it. One tip is to use with caution, as you may exclude some relevant articles that include other unwanted or other wanted search terms. So do this with caution. You must take your time, class. These are not things you do in a hurry. You'll take time, maybe 1 hour before you rush out, so that you get all that you're looking for. Again, if you have one concept you're looking for, it is easier to just take your time and finish that one. Don't go, leave it, come back. Imagine sometimes if you come back after 2 days, you've even forgotten what an independent variable is. You start reading all over again. So I think when you start work, you just do it and finish it, and then you go and come back with another concept. What are some of the strategies I've just explained? When you use AND, is used to combine two different concepts. The result contain both terms in a very narrowed and synthesized way. So you can see this will give you very, what did we call it? Pull information. It has been synthesized in a way that you only get what you're looking for. If you say or, it will open up. It used to combine synonyms from the same concept or topic. The results may contain either or any of them. So if you say teenager or adolescent, you can see it is a lot more papers that you may not have been looking for. So it broadens your search and narrows your search. When is it we can use, I don't know if you call them inverted commas, apostrophes, talk, what is the English word for those who did grammar? So when you want exact things, especially in Google Scholar, you can put them in these speech marks or apostrophes, and it will bring you exactly that. If it's not there, it will tell you, I cannot find what you're looking for. So this is used to retrieve words together in the order they appear in the quotation marks. That is exactly how you want it. You don't want anything, if you say autism spectrum disorder, you don't want anything written autistic or autism alone or just disorder, autism disorder. You want it the way you put it. You say occupational therapy, all the papers which come out will have exactly what you're looking for. Truncation and wildcards, these symbols place letters at the end of a word to capture all possible variations. For instance, you don't want to write autism, autistic, autistically. So you can just see Otis and not the Luo Otis, but Otis. And you put that, you put the symbol at the end. It will bring you all the variations. This can be used to replace letters within a word to capture all possible spelling variations, especially when you're struggling between English and American, which is which. So things like behavior, demeanor, endeavor, behavior, pediatric, orthopedic. So you do know there are some people who put an A, others don't. E is there, U is everywhere. So you can put that sign, symbol, to allow it to bring all variations, whether the article is from America or from UK, whoever uses UK English or American English, all those articles will come out. When you're searching for acronyms, use both the acronym and the full name as a phrase. PDD, don't just put PDD, because in the internet, PDD may mean so many other things. Other occupations or disciplines also have their own PDDs, whatever they mean. So you can say PDD or pervasive developmental disorder, or you say PDD and also write it in full. WHO, World Health Organization, ADD or ADHD. I'm sure you know what they mean. You can check that. Attention deficit hyperactive disorder or attention deficit disorder. The best way to search databases is to separate out the concepts and search on all possible synonyms for one concept than to do a separate search for the next concept and so on. I don't know if you get this. This is what I was trying to explain. If you're looking for one the main concept, please do that exhaustively. Instead of searching for one, then you go to the other one, then you come back, then you mix them up, plus, or just do the one like the one Kelvin gave us. You can do all those three. Then if you find you don't have enough articles, then you remove one now. And so the articles you find for those three, please keep them in your search history table. And then you can now remove or put or use another Boolean operator. And if it brings more, again, you check through them. Bear in mind that sometimes your search may make the papers replicate or they repeat themselves. Or when you search for Google Scholar, you'll find the same paper in EBSCOhost, you'll find the same paper in Medline or PubMed or OTSeeker. That should not worry you. Once you do your history tables, you can synthesize what is repetitive. Even Word can do that for you. So you'll check through that and then you can remove what is not necessary. So when all concepts are searched, then combine the separate searches together. That's what I said. So you'll put them together in a search history table. This can also be done using medical subject headings where available. I'm just mentioning that. Let it not complicate your thinking or your life. Let's do the bare minimum first. And then as you develop, even when you read these notes later in your course, maybe in fourth year, they will make more sense. That's why I didn't remove it from there. Now, what does a search history table look like? This is just an example, and these notes, I think they're for last year, but you will see, I have said there, you put your name, your admission number, what is your PICO? This time I don't want the questions, I want your main constructs, the things you're looking for. So here we can have OT intervention, children's sensory motor. Probably there was a question about OT intervention for children with sensory motor or something like that. Okay, so some of the articles that I have found, I have put there, the authors, you can see there's a title, author, publication, volume number, pages, year, publisher, library, website. It all depends on how you want it. For my assignment, of course, put as many things as possible because I'm marking you, but the bottom line is that it will help you to know where you got which paper and what paper was talking about. So some websites will even give you the abstract, a column for the abstract, which is excellent because you read through the abstract and find out if it is useful for you or if it is not. This is one of the databases. I will require you to take screenshots because I need evidence that you actually went there and you looked for it. I don't know which this one was, but we will see what it looks like. So in this kind of, yeah, it's Ovid Medline, okay. So in Ovid Medline, I can go there and I will decide whether I want to look through journals or books, or I'll make my workspace there. Once I have registered, you can register into them. They'll give you a space where you can do your work, etc. Just read those and you'll know what they all want you to do or what they mean. They're just to make your work easy. Some are not useful, some may be useful. I don't use all of them myself. So do you want a basic search or do you want to find a citation and so on? For this, you can see I clicked on advanced search. So on advanced search, I will now come and put my key constructs inside here. And I want all the articles that come out to have the keyword. You can also put an author. If you know there's a famous author like Lofner who has talked so much about Moho, you may just want to put the author, or if you have a title. So it depends on how you want to narrow yourself, or you put the journal. Bear with me, those who know how to do this. I just want the whole class to be at one space. So if you've done it before, no problem. If for repeating, if you've never done it, this is good for you to learn. And then you click on search, okay? For some, of course, a search history will come up. So you can see the ones I saved, they came up, and then I took a screenshot. So I'll want you to do a screenshot for every database that you go into. Make sure there are about 5 for the construct. You can use one question. Please, we'll start from the question. We'll break it down into the construct in a box. I will give you the structure, but for meantime, just do this practice and let me see what you come up with in the next lesson. Yes, documenting your search, just what I've said, just press on Alt, print to screen. If you have a laptop, if you're using your mobile, like many of you do, you'll still take a screenshot. I think it's harder using a mobile phone, but it depends on what you have. So make sure the selection of databases is appropriate for your PICO, because you'll have to show me your PICO first. Then use of synonyms, separate searches for each term. Then what are the appropriate words that you used? I need to see that. Some databases don't take the plus sign. Be careful. Sometimes you write plus and it doesn't go. So you use the correct word. And in words, are, or, not, but, whatever you want to use. How do you make your limits? I've said, for instance, for me, I want articles or books which are 25 years back, or 10 years is okay. If you don't get enough, depends on your PICO question. 10 years is okay, but not beyond that, people. Don't bring things which are dated or outdated. How else can you limit? Gender depends on what you're looking for, or children, age. You can limit by age. You saw Kelvin's question was saying in the elderly, so you can also limit by geriatrics. You limit language. There are many ways you can do your limits. That will just depend on you. You need to also have an understanding of the type of study you're looking for, and we've did an introduction to research studies. So just go through again RCT, meta-analysis, systematic reviews, experimental designs, etc. I seem to be moving quickly. If you have a question, you can put it on the chat, or you can actually ask. What are the steps? This is a summary. Understand your own question and do some background reading if it's still not clear to you, so that you make sure you are going to search for information that will help you. You can read 1 or 2 papers ahead or discuss with your colleagues and refine your question, refine your main constructs before you go into the search. Identify major concepts and keywords. We've done that today. Select databases to search. We are going to do that in a short way. And this is our activity, which we want to do now. Let's develop a PICO question for this scenario. The parent of a child with autism wants to know if exercise will assist her child to relate to other children. Let me hear your responses. I'm giving you 2 minutes. Who has a question? Okay, we'll get back to it. As we go through that, there's an assignment which I will open up later after your cut. You can have a cut next week. Doreen will give you the cut. Okay, so in this assignment, but before the assignment opens, I want us to make sure I'll be marking the right thing. I don't like people who fail the assignments, because it doesn't help me either. That's why I need to know what you're doing, and we will do a few presentations next week at random, and then we will complete the assignment in the coming week. So we'll meet on Thursday to do that. Make sure you do what we've asked today. Yeah, we want to go into such. Okay. Who can give us the people question? The parent, I've given the scenario. Kelvin, you're the one who talked last, so can you choose someone to give us an answer?
Okay, I choose Karen.
Karen, yes, thank you. Karen, are you there? Sam, you have the list of people who attended. I can see a few have dropped off, maybe their internet. Sam, are you there?
Yeah.
Great, all right. Karen, are you able to talk? Or you're still working on it?
I'm in.
Are you working on it?
Yes.
No. Okay.
Okay, so is exercise helpful for for a child with autism in relating to other children compared to no exercise?
You're even laughing. Okay. Is exercise helpful to a child with autism? Again?
Yes.
Nobody's wrong, Karen. Yes, please repeat it because I was slow in typing.
Okay. Is exercise helpful for a child with autism in relating to other children compared to no exercise?
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Thank you, Karen. And please, let's not be safe by saying no exercise. It's not easy to search for no exercise in search engines. Make a good comparison. But thank you, Karen. Karen, would you want to choose someone next to also give us an alternative to the question?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Juliet.
Juliet, right. Are you together? Are you in one room?
Yes.
Are you together with Karen in one place?
No.
Okay, great. Right. Give us an alternative to that, the PICO.
Okay. So, is there so I have to come up with an exercise or
You have to come up with a PICO question. And it doesn't have to start with is. So you give us a PICO question. Exercise is a thing in the scenario. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
okay, I've understood the question. Will exercise assist a child with autism compared to other methods of intervention in relating with other children?
Again,
Okay. Yes?
please repeat it for me.
Will exercise assist a child, an autistic child?
A child with
in-
autism. Mhm.
Yeah, child with autism. Wait, let me structure it again. Will
Okay.
exercise assist a child with autism compared to other methods of occupational therapy intervention in relating with other children? Yes.
Like that? Is it like that?
Okay, that's my suggestion.
That was your suggestion. So I've written it the way you wanted. Will exercise assist a child with autism compared to other methods of intervention in relating with other children? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Choose the next person.
Habakkuk.
Habakkuk, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give us an
My
alternative.
My question reads,
Mhm.
does the purposeful exercises,
Does passive exercises or
purposeful,
purposeful?
yeah,
Mm.
the exercises in a child with autism
Mm.
improve a relationship with other children?
Mm.
Compared to unpurposeful exercises?
Which ones are those, Mugendi? Is it Habakkuk? Which are the unpurposeful?
Like not involving the child in therapeutic exercises.
Mm.
It's the same as no intervention.
Great. The last one, Emmanuel, you are first in the classroom. We need to hear your voice. Thank you, Habakkuk. Mm. Emmanuel, do you have an alternative? Is Emmanuel there? Am I dreaming? Who was the first in the class? I saw Emmanuel. Is there an Emmanuel in this class? Sam, do you have Emmanuel?
Yes. Yeah.
Is he inside? Emmanuel, he be talking.
He has left.
He has left. Okay. All right. So you go ahead, Sam. Do you have an alternative?
Okay, I've tried to write down the question, but I cannot see now the comparison, the C in PICO.
Okay, just give us what you have.
Does use of exercises assist a child with autism to relate to other children So now compared to now, the other C is not there. So
Okay. That's okay. So thank you. So class, why I'm doing that is that you can see everybody is asking the question in a different way. Sam has said he cannot find the comparison, but that's okay. So what are the absolute constructs that this you must go and look for in order to answer this matter? Sam, look for someone to tell us what should we include.
faith.
Yes.
Who's this? Who is speaking?
It's Faith.
Faith. Thank you, Faith. Okay. So what should we
Pardon,
look for? Pardon?
Come again with the question.
Now I want us to go and search for information to come back and answer this matter. What is the most important construct that has even repeated in all the people who answered the question, who gave us a PICO question? What are the things we must look for?
We can start with the child with autism and the exercises and the ability to
exercise,
interact with others.
class, or relationship, shapes. If it's not there, we can also call it social. Also, it doesn't have to be the exact word, but it will depend what you get. Okay, so we'll go with that. Autism, you may note down those words. When I ask, you can help me. Autism, child, exercise, relationships, and so on. Okay, I'll put away these notes so that we can go look. Just a minute. Hello, I'm in class. Okay, class, I'm back here. Okay, so we want to look for that information. As I said, if this is not new to you, that's okay. If it is new to you, we'll go we'll go slowly for the sake of those who are learning it for the first time. So we want to look into OTC, which is in Google, is our main search engine, not the database, but the search engine. I hope my internet will behave. I may be looking for others in the meantime. A few of these. You can also look into Google Scholar. Yeah, I can see my computer is slowing down. I don't know if you see that as well. So just be patient. Okay, if we get OTC on, let's go straight to advanced search. Let's see if that works. Maybe we'll do one at a time so that it moves fast. Okay, so we had autism. What is the other one? Children. What did you write down? Children. You know, sometimes you say relationship, it will think of the relationship between autism and children. So sometimes you have to be very, very careful. Can you see my screen, class? Are we together?
Yes.
Great. So you can see it's already giving us total number of articles in the database for what we are asking for is 12,711. That's a lot. So you can see the breakdown here. It will tell you you're looking for autism. There are 196 autism alone, and the other fields like including autism is 6,770. Autism and intervention is not there. Is this going to bring for us exactly what we are looking for? No. So let's remove. What other thing was in the concepts? Let's try social.
Exercise.
Oh, exercise. Yes, yes. Thank you. Exercise was a main thing, actually. So let's put it up. Copy. Children. Let's leave the children out. You can use here, these are the Boolean, you can use and, or not. We're using and. So let's search. There are no results. We can go back. The 12,000 is from my other searches. So about autism. So maybe let's leave that. Let's see what that gives. Okay, so for autism alone, you can see there's RCT, RCTs, that's okay. Early intervention for autism with sensory treatment to alleviate tactile abnormalities reduces severity of autism. This is an RCT of 103. So you can check also in the title, does it have what you're looking for? Your main construct is exercise. So let's go back and add exercise. Let's see if that will help. Okay, there are no results. So you keep playing with those words and see what comes up. If that database is not giving you enough, you can go to the next one, which is, which one did we highlight? PubMed. Let me close OT Seeker for now, just because my computer is a bit slow. So PubMed, you can go to advanced search. You can see this is open resource by US government, National Institutes of Health, NIH. And you get more if you register in. For me, I think I'm still inside, so that is good. What am I looking for? Already tells us this will filter in the last 10 years, which is already good for us. So what do we want to look for? Autism and exercise. What else there? And relationships. Huh? Was there anything else? Children. Okay, let's leave that for now. So let's search for that. There's only one result. So effects of B active 2, that has limited us too much. Let's remove that. Relationships and try again. Have 19 results. That's great. It's between 2014 and 2024. That is 10 years. We have abstracts. If you want, you can also say you want the ones which are free, because then you will be able to read them. Sometimes they're abstracts and they're not free. Now we have only 9 results. But at this stage, you still don't want the full ones. You want to sieve them from the abstract. So let's go back, abstract. That gives us 19. Let's try and move to 2020 or 2019. Gives us only 5. One is the effect of water-based intervention on sleep habits, and 2 sleep-related. Is that relevant to what we are looking for? Can an online exercise prescription tool improve adherence to home exercise programs in children with cerebral palsy? Now, that is not autism. Participation predictors of leisure time activities in children with cerebral palsy. So you can see that has limited us. We might have to go back to 2014. It's taxing, of course, looking for this information. Effects, exercise effects for children with autism spectrum disorder. Yeah, that one is something which may interest us. The impact of physical activity intervention on physical and cognitive outcomes in children with autism. Now, if you see cognitive and physical outcomes, you may probably think there'll be social outcomes, which is what we are also looking for. The effect of water-based intervention on sleep habits and 2 sleep-related. Let's try it since it keeps coming up. So at this point, you're still not reading, you're just judging from the topics, the titles. Can an online exercise prescription, that is another repetition, but let's try. No, this is cerebral palsy, so we leave it alone. Environmental enrichment as a therapy for autism, a clinical trial, replication and extension. So choosing an appropriate physical exercise to reduce stereotypic behavior in children with autism spectrum disorders, non-clinical, but that's very good. Effects of Be Active 2 on balance. That may not talk about social very much. A self-affirmation exercise does not improve interventions to vaccinate among parents. That's not ours. Participation predictors for leisure time, physical activity intervention in children with cerebral palsy. Sometimes it may be about cerebral palsy, but it may be something you want to apply. So let's see what we can do with the ones we have ticked. You can send this information to your email or or you can save it. I have a reference manager. You can also have a reference manager, which will help you with referencing. And these things you can just self-learn. So the one I use is Zotero. Others, there's Mendeley, there's RefWorks, so that you don't have to struggle with the struggle I've been giving you about APA. But first, you need to know the concepts of APA. So you usually need your reference manager open for you to send there, or email them to yourself, or save them. If you have registered, then they'll give you a space for saving. Let me see where I can send them. So it says you can send them to the clipboard. That means copy, or my bibliography, or my citation manager. So for me, usually I'll send it to my citation manager. And from there, I can get the search history table. Let me see if that will work. So it says, are we still together? It says, create a file for external citation management software. I have 6 selections. I can say, create a file. It will go to this place. and I probably want to look at it through Word. So that is one way. I can get it from my downloads. I can also email it to myself or save. Just make sure you save it somewhere. Okay, back to these limitations. You can use abstract, full associated data, book or documents, or you just want only clinical trials. It will change your search. Sometimes if you're reading classical issues like behavioral theories, you may want things, because Pavlov was here in the 1930s. People still talk about classical conditioning. So you may want to widen. Those ones you are allowed to do your citations on old theories which have not been changed. So you can still custom your change. You can say in the last 10 years, or you can custom by yourself and tell it exactly when you want it and apply. So there are many ways of limiting that. Let me leave it hanging for now. Let me go to the next one. If you have a question, please talk with us. Cochrane. Brain or Willy library are also open resources, and you have no excuse for giving us old articles. That's what I'm trying to say. You can find them everywhere. Cochrane, let's say advanced search. Am I logged in? Let me try. Okay. The advantage, if you're signed in, you will be given space to save your work rather than just browsing through. And you can see I have saves, so I can view saves if I want. But let's go to, and here is the mesh we were talking about, and it also tells you, did you know you can now select from Search Manager using that? So anyway, let's go ahead. And again, what were our main issues? Autism, and exercise. Exercise and relation. So let's run the search. Okay, we have 26 trials matching that. Let's see what it says. Before you go through, you can also limit again. Tell it you want in the last 9 months, last 2 years. What are the sources that you want? It can also get you sources from PubMed, which is excellent. So you don't need to go to PubMed alone. But this is just for us to keep learning. So it says, let's increase this maybe to 50 in a page so that we get all of them at once. These are trials, they're 26, so you don't have in all other information. Well, let's see what we can do with that. CrossFit Camp, an intervention to improve peer relationships and exercise capacity in children with autism spectrum disorder. So we already have peer relationships and exercise, that's good. Relationship among executive functions, self-regulation, physical exercise in children with that. It's great. investigating the matching relationship between physical exercise and stereotypic behavior. One thing you can look through again, you can see this one was 2023, very recent. This is 2020, which is excellent, 2021. So you can do that. Facing your fears in school, implementing a CBT program for students with ASD or other special learning. Not very clear, but you can pick it for now. Study of 2 exercise protocols for autism spectrum disorder. Treatment for sleep disturbance in children with ASD. I'm not sure if there's exercise or there's a relationship. You may want to decide for yourself, actually. Effect of dilatory advice and exercise therapy for autism, CrossFit, children with autism. Again, I think it was up there. Super brain yoga, emotional face identification in children. So emotional face may have to do something to do with the relationships. I don't know, you can pick on it. Sports game intervention aids, executive function enhancement in children. That has something to do with it. CrossFit camp, an intervention to improve social skills in children with autism. You see, that really applies. An RCT for investigating the effectiveness of parent training on promoting physical activity in children. So you see that one even has the parent, that's a good one. Comparison of the effect of traditional and computerized emotional facial education training in children with autism. This is just off my head. Sometimes you make decisions very quickly, but sometimes they don't apply. So don't be afraid at this stage. You will have the opportunity to check them out. Effects of leisure program on quality of life and stress individuals. This is 2010. I may want to take it or not. Well, let's do a pilot randomized control trial study of parent support program for parents. Okay, so we can do that. Okay, what do we do with the ones we have ticked? You can say export selected citations or send to the search manager. So it depends. You want to save them inside here or you want them to go out? Let's try to take them out. You're given many options. If your reference manager is EndNote, this one you have to buy the license. The one I was saying, Zotero, is free. Mendeley is also free. But let's use the Excel because it will give us a table, just to give us an example. So we can say download. But you've seen that is Excel CSV. So you may want to change it. I just want to give us an example. What we have. Is it almost time? I'm confused by time. Clara, you know I'm in your country. Okay, so there's a citation. Are we able to see? Just tell me if it comes up. Or I have to. Can you see an Excel sheet or I have to share it again? I need to hear you, class. Hello?
Hello.
Can you see an Excel sheet?
Is it the one written central ID something starting with that?
No, okay. Let me redo that. Okay, so I've exported it in CSV the way we said. Now let me share what we have downloaded. We can see that now?
Yes.
Good. So it comes as an Excel sheet. And this is what one example of a search history table. Let's see what it looks like. Convert the scientific. Let's save as a real Excel workbook. Just a minute. Let me share the whole screen so you can see the process. Can you see the whole screen now where I want to save?
Yes.
Okay. If you want a real, a good search history table, now we move it from CSV into the other format, which is just Excel workbook. And I can save it on my desktop and say citation export, say OTT 24 Feb. Are we still in February 2024? Okay, so if I save that, okay, so now it is an Excel and I can manipulate it. I can add here, okay. You also want to insert many other columns because you'll tell us your name, the pick of question, and so on and so forth. So you can give us all the details here and tell us, please people, you have to write your numbers. It really taxes me that I download your assignment and then I can't know whose it is. If I download in bulk, then I don't know whose it is. Please just try and you can also put your number here. I hope we are in the Excel sheet. Can we all see?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. Now, for Cochrane can give you a lot of nonsense, so it's up to you to delete what you don't require. And we will see that just now. So you can see it has given us an ID. I don't know if you need that. The authors, we definitely need that. The title, yes. We can even expand it. So that you have the whole title. It has given us the abstract, the volume, the year, great. So if I just scroll through your table, I can see your sources. If I see any which is like 2010, you remember I picked on that. Others are not too bad. Then you can remove all these others if you don't need them, but you probably need them. Remove as little as you can. If it's telling you where you can get it, those ones maybe you don't require, but it's good. If you have a website, that's okay. So it tells you can get them in PubMed, you can get them in Membase, city government, ID, Govid, Sinal, all those we called them as databases. What are the keywords? Does it have an abstract? Yeah, let's expand on the abstract. Okay, some abstracts are very long. Pardon? Are we together? Okay. Yeah, this is just formatting. Am I echoing somebody's? So we can see number one, you got comparison of the effect. You can mute if you're not talking. Please mute yourself. Okay, comparison of the effect of traditional and computerized emotional facial education. That was one paper. It's in 2020. The abstract is here, and so on. So if I go down to number two, this is a good way of me now studying the abstracts. We can also bring this up. So in this one was 2021. The purpose was this. The abstract gives me all the details that I require, and so on and so forth. So you can see this search history table. It's up to you what you want. If you don't want to include the abstract, that's okay. So let me close this for now. We've already downloaded, so you've seen that. Okay, I want to go to the last one, which is Google Scholar. By the way, you can bookmark them. If you use it very, like I have Willy Library as a bookmark, Google Scholar, the ones you use often, you can bookmark them so that you don't need to go through Google search. But for the sake of our own learning, that's why we are going through all this Google. We are starting from the basic, like a 2-year-old. All right, so this is autism plus, is that correct? Autism and exercise plus that. Good, so Google Scholar also gives us how to custom range. Since you can say since 2020, you can see autism and exercise and social has returned 292,000 results. We cannot read that. Clara, are we still together? Are we in Google Scholar?
Yes, yes.
Great, great. All right. Class, I hope we are moving together. So Google Scholar, please don't go to Google. Google is very noisy. It's like Wikipedia. So for your scholarly articles, just go to Google Scholar. You can custom range. Here we can see 2012, 2018. We are going to reduce because we don't have time to do over 200,000 papers. So let's say since 2020. Let's see how many come up. 18,400. Still a lot. Huh? Okay. How about 2023? Don't use years only. I'm just playing around with it because we are learning. But sometimes you may use only years and you lock out very, very important information. So here, when they say any article, let's go back to 2020 and say we want reviewed articles. 1,000. Sort by relevance. That is what it's sorting. If you sort by date, let's see what comes up. But let's try by relevance. The effect of physical exercise on disordered social communication in individuals with autism spectrum disorder, a systematic review. So here I'd like to save that. Here is where you save it. It will ask you, do you want a new, I have so many labels because I teach evidence-based practice a lot. So let's create one for today. Let's call it EBP 3. Are we 3.1 or 3.2?
3.2.
3.2.
3.2.
2024, thank you. 2024. So let's create a library called like that, and that's where we're gonna save our work. Okay, so we save it. Effects of physical activity on social behavior, cognitive. We may have found this elsewhere, but let's save it. Save it in 2024. Social skill outcome following physical activity based on intervention for individuals with autism spectrum, a scoping review. We can save it in 2024. Here's the next. Effectiveness of physical activity interventions on communication and social functioning. That's excellent things we are really looking for. We can save it. It's a bit tedious, this one, because the other one you just needed to tick, but this one you have to keep saving. All right. Positive effects of physical activity in autism spectrum disorder, how influences behavior, metabolic. This is good because it has our key words. Okay, I want us to reach about 10. Indoor motor exercise regimes improve social cognition in children with ASD, a systematic review. We can save that. Okay. Effects of diet, nutrition. Now, this is the place where you could say not diet, because now you see this. But because we didn't put that Boolean operator, diet has come, nutrition, and it's combined with exercise. So let's save it. Effects of physical activity and exercise-based intervention in young children with that. So you can save that. Indoor motor exercise regimes. By the way, class, it's not like all these are good. It's just because we are learning. I hope we are together on that. Don't do what Mwalimu did, like, but she saved the whole first page and we had 9,000 articles. No, that is not good. So this one is for us to learn, and we will do that. Effects of exercise intervention on executive function in children and adolescents. Sounds like we've met it somewhere else, but let's save it anyway. Okay, before I open where we have saved, let's try another thing. Let's sort by date instead of by relevance. Let's see if it's different. It will bring different papers. Okay, the latest 2024, somebody has actually published the effects of aquatic exercise on motor skills and social behaviors in children and adolescents with ASD, a systematic review. That's excellent. We'll save it. Okay. The effects of exercise, this is 2023. The effect of exercise therapy on adolescent mental health and systematic review. Something you must know also about Google Scholar is that they are not all open. Like you see, this one has nothing. When you see one with a PDF on ResearchGate, you know those ones are open. PDF, those ones, if you want to read the whole paper, you can find them. So also look out for that when you're saving your work, because some, maybe now eventually when you reach the other place of critiquing, you can't find the whole paper. So you'll find if you had only 2, then now there's nothing to compare to. You have to start all over again. So as you're doing this exercise, also be cognizant of what is available, what is in open resource, or what you'll have to buy. I really don't want you to buy any papers at this stage. So just look for open resources. The effect of exercise therapy on adolescent, so you can save that. Okay. Spanish, this one is open. Effects of mind-body exercises on health-related outcomes in children and adolescents with ASD, a systematic review. Cite. Oh, we are not citing, we are saving. By the way, if you don't have a site manager, a citation manager or reference manager, you can also use this. These are tricks I use, but because I wanted you to learn fast, you probably know about it. But so if you want one which is exactly in APA, you can just come and copy it from here. Or if you're using Michigan or Chicago or Harvard, Vancouver, whichever. And you can also take them to your own ref manager, like RefWorks and all that. So if you cite in your assignment, there's an easy way of getting your list done. Well, they're always tricks, eh? But being a teacher, I just want you to learn the basics. Good. So we've seen always. So now let's go to my library. Here is my library. And I will look for EBP 2024. You can see I have all of them, the ones we saved. They are all there. There's even page 2. So what do I do with them? I can say export. I can export to my ref manager, which is, let me see, articles on this page, all articles in this label. So I can say export. And I'll find it there. The other way, again, I can export to CSV, which we did before. Articles on this label, and we export. Now let's see what CVC. I don't want to open the other one because that's my ref manager. You don't need to know all that at this time. Let's take everybody at their pace. So we can tell it to convert. And we save it as an Excel workbook, which is compatible. So we can say that, let's call it now you can see the difference of this search history table. It doesn't give us too much. It's not like the other one we got from, where did we get that one? From Cochrane. Eh? So I love the Cochrane one because it gives us a lot more information, and that is what you require for now. I remember I said, please put in your details here, your PICO items. So that they are more clear. That this is just formatting. You want to title, title, publication year is there, good. And to know how many you have. To make it neat and tidy. Title is important to us, so but before that, let's put them up. So we can see the full title, effects of physical activity on social, behavioral, and cognitive skills in children and young adults with that. So this one does not have as many columns as the other one, if you remember what the other one looked like. Let me just bring it up. we compare the two of them, you can see so you can see this one had so many columns. It had here abstract, wherever, and I like it because it tells me where I can get other databases where I can get it. And if the database that is not open resource, then I can still look for it in other databases and I will find it. Okay, so it's up to you how you want to structure your search table. And let me see what you have done next week. I will post, let me just write down the lecture on variables. So you can also read that before you get into this exercise. Who has a question before I close everything? And this class is better online because we don't have a computer lab. So it's better for me to teach it this way. In other words, you will now be able to go and practice on your own. Okay, that's my library. So let's go back to groups. Come on. Are we together, class, or it's a lot of information all at once? Who has a question? Let me share back our lecture. Yes, Edgar.
So the lecture has been nice, but personally I felt that information was so bulky and like everything was so complex, but I'll just have to integrate it later.
Edgar, okay. I just know it's a lot, but it's not hard. It just needs you to practice. It's definitely easier on a desktop or a laptop than on the phone, but it just needs you to practice. Let me just go back to the lecture if you don't mind. And I'll give you time. That's why we have very few topics in evidence-based practice. There's a lot more to practice than actually the lectures. Edgar, what's your question? Or you're just lamenting?
No, my question is concerned on using those different databases.
Okay. Class, it's not cast in stone what you must use. It's really up to you. I just want at least 5. You use 5 databases. I want screenshots of what you have done, like this one. Apart from the search history table, you need to screenshot what you have searched, just for me to know you're learning, not to penalize you or anything. And so you have 2 things to do. You have, I just wanted to revise this, that once you get your question right and you get the key constructs, which are the independent variables, the things that must be included in your search, and then you use the correct Boolean operator, and also prioritize which one comes first. Like for the one we were doing, we saw without autism, the whole PICO does not make sense. It could be any other. So we were targeting children with autism and exercise and also relationships. So relationships may not come out of the articles as relationships, but you have to have your own discernment, or you have to decide, is it social or is it playing with each other? Is it family issues? I mean, family relationships. So any article that refers to any of that, you can take it into your library. What is the importance of a search history table? Again, I have said, if you don't keep you've seen it's very tedious just looking for these articles. It's so tedious. So you can imagine you've spent 2 hours, you didn't keep any in anywhere, back to your assignment or even to your clinic or practice. And then you go back to your phone or to your laptop. Then you start, now where did I get that? I saw that topic which talked about exercise. Where is it? Was it on Google Scholar? Was it on Cochrane? Was it on Willy? Now you start looking all over again. So I can't underestimate the importance of a search history table. Even though for this class, we want to do it as an exercise, it is something you'll have to practice. I still do it up to today. And some of these things, as we were never taught, by the way, they keep developing, things keep developing as years move. They're getting better and better. You can see now we have AI. AI may not give you the information that I'm talking about because it may not give you the exact citation. Again, AI will give you answers, not applications. And for OT, as you rise on your level, we want you to apply, have your own clinical reasoning, which AI may not necessarily give you. It doesn't have the reasoning that we are looking for. So personally, I'm not threatened by AI, and I can pinpoint your answers from far. So please try and use your own brain for now. You can use AI to the limit that it should be, not to do your whole assignment. Great. Apart from Edgar, I appreciate what you have said. And as you have realized, even for my marking, I'm not out to penalize students. I do assessments for learning. I don't do tricks. I do assessments, not of learning. You don't need to memorize, but I need you to understand. So before we complete this assignment, I want to see what we have done before I open it up for you to submit. I want to see what you have done next week. And then Doreen will give you the cut on Friday. Next week, I may also go through I'll look through the lecture on variables. Maybe we do that a little, then we can do a few presentations, and then we can leave you time to go and read for your cut. Then you can have the cut on Friday. Doreen will organize that. Any other question? Yes. Pardon? Was someone talking?
Yes, madam. I wanted to ask, my internet had a problem when you were giving the assignment. It removed me from the class, so I didn't get the information clearly.
Sorry about that. Now, when we enter the class, I always see it's being recorded, which is a good thing, but I've never got the recording. So if you go to IT and just ask them where the recording for the Zooms are, maybe that will help all of us. Who's speaking?
Juliet.
Juliet, yes. I know it's recorded somewhere. It's just the Zoom is for the university, so I don't know where it's stored. Would you mind to go to ICT? And if you get it, you can share with all of us.
Okay, it's just that I didn't get the assignment part, that assignment that you talked about.
Okay.
When I come back, yeah.
Who understood the assignment? Because the assignment was progressing as we were going on. Everything I was explaining was adding to the assignment. Who gets that? So in a nutshell, who can explain to us what, and that is very good, Juliet. I need to be able to know that I'm communicating with the class. In a nutshell, who can explain to us what the assignment is about? Who has not spoken today? Is admin? Is it ICT spying on us? Who is admin? Okay. Vivian, you've not talked today. Vivian, do you understand the assignment? Vivian?
Yes, madam.
Have you understood what we are supposed to do for next week?
Okay. What I've understood is you come up with a pick of question that you want to search in the databases.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look for 5 different databases
Mm-hmm.
with the screenshots. Yeah, that's what I have understood so far.
Thank you. On top of that, you can come up with a search history table because you need to store where you have searched. Thank you, Vivian. That is helpful. Julie, is that okay?
Yes, it's okay.
Oh, there's Julie and there's Juliet. Okay, now I didn't say you only, I said I want screenshots of 5. But you see, you can go to 5, which will not give you information. It depends on your PICO question, people. You saw OT Seeker is the best for OTs, but we couldn't get information from there according to what we were looking for. Did you notice that? It's the first one we did, and we didn't get much. Cochrane gave us the most. And Cochrane is a combination of other databases. So you can go to Sinal, you can go to Google Scholar, you can go to Willy Library, you can go to PubMed or Medline, yeah. Depends on your PICO question. So if you go to the first one and it doesn't give you information, so even if you screenshot it for me, I will not know what you found. So I need you to go to many, as many as you can. The more you practice, the better for you. As you practice, then you screenshot them. Then you will decide. By the way, don't leave and then you'll come back and screenshot. Just screenshot as you're going. And then you'll decide the best screenshots you want to submit for me. So I just want to see next week how much we have done and how we are moving on with that. I think that's okay. Is that okay, class?
I have a question, madam.
Who is this? Clara?
Clara, yes.
Yes, I've been asking who is admin. Yeah, okay, so it's Clara. Okay, all right.
Okay. The question is, how many PICO questions are we supposed to include in our search history?
Just one.
Just one.
Because now we have zeroed in into one PICO question, the one, and I think that's what we've been doing throughout the class. You remember we have one question first it's a question maybe from your client or from yourself, a clinic, then you make it a PICO question, then you pick the variables inside, which I will teach next week, but don't worry, just pick what you think is the main construct. What is the absolute that you must search for? Then you add Boolean words to it, Boolean operators, either on, and, or, depends on how many are coming out. Like you saw Google Scholar was giving us too much. You may want to put or so that you limit it. You can limit by years. You can limit by age groups, children, elderly. Just see how you limit your search. And once you do that, once you get the key constructs, you go now into the search engines. The search engines is actually not the search engine. There's a difference between the search engine and the database. So the search engine, like Google itself, will give you where to go. You can just put in OTSeeker, then you enter the library. You can put PubMed, you can put Medline, you can put Willy library, you can put any other library that we have checked about, and those are the databases. So once you go in, again, you remember to save your work, remember to take screenshots, and then you'll make a search history table. So we are just using one. That is the way we have gone today. If everybody remembers that, we were just using one example for many others, yes. This is okay. Who wants me to see them? Please put on your video. At least we see that you came to class, and just to feel that the class was together. Who's beautiful enough? Thank you, Vivian. Yes, you're beautiful. Anybody else? The boy child. Ah, Osero, thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? Clara, yes, thank you. Nice. All right, class, I know some are in their pajamas, so we may not see them. Juliet, thank you. Wow, guys, it's just 1 second. Juliet, we didn't even see you. Okay, Habakkuk has a, are you clapping or you're raising your hand? Nice, Juliet, thank you. Habakkuk, you have a question or you're happy?
Happy.
Great, okay. Thank you, class. I think we will stop there. Let's meet next week. We can use the same, I think it has not changed. Let's use the same link and see if it works. If it doesn't work, Sam will sort us out. Okay, have a good day and yeah, enjoy your work. Bye.